What is up, you guys? Taylor, aka Red Ranger 02 here, and I'm back with yet another video. This time it's going to be another top 5 video. Now, I did a thing a while back. It was like top 10 video game characters that need their own video game, but I wanted to get specific with this and say top 5 fighting game characters that need their own video game. Spoiler alert, 3 out of the 5 are from Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat's just really good game to pull from. It's one of the original fighting games, and it's just kind of obvious go-to. But here I have a list of the 5 game characters. I feel like 5 fighting video game characters that I feel like could definitely pull off their own video game. So we're gonna start off with number 5, and that is Ryu from Street Fighter. I do not know pretty much anything about Street Fighter. I played a little bit of some demos and stuff here and there, and I played the original Street Fighter, and I played Street Fighter 2, as most people have. I actually don't know a whole lot about Street Fighter, but with Ryu's abilities in the game, and a little bit I know about his backstory thanks to Whiz and Boomstick from Death Battle, or Ben and Chad, as their real names are. I don't know a whole lot about Ryu as far as his backstory and everything. Like I said, I know very little about it, but his actual fighting style would be really interesting to see. Possibly a beat-em-up style video game. Not a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, maybe a 3D side-scrolling beat-em-up. Not 3D side-scrolling, a 3D beat-em-up. Very similar to possibly the Devil May Cry series. I feel like it could be handled really well. I mean, Devil May Cry is also Capcom, so that just naturally makes sense. So, I think Ryu's got some potential. Now at number 4 is going to be Erron Black from Mortal Kombat. Erron Black is one of my favorite characters that was introduced in Mortal Kombat X, and I'm glad also made a return in Mortal Kombat 11. Erron Black being a bounty hunter from Outworld, I see that being a huge potential. He has a little bit of close quarters combat and martial arts capabilities, but he mainly is a long-range character. He's a firearms user. He has guns, which I really think could be excellent for a type of game. A standalone type of game. Maybe something that plays similar to Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I've been in a Star Wars mood lately, so that's the first thing that came to my head. So I'll play similar to that, where you're going after different bounties and tracking down people in Outworld, and maybe there's a little bit of a story that goes behind the scenes, who knows, but I feel like Erron Black, just with his skill set, does have a little bit of potential. At number 3, a Mortal Kombat RPG starring Shujinko, or Shujinka. I know his original name from Armageddon is Shujinko, but with how the timeline has reset, I'm wondering if maybe, well, spoiler alert, the timelines are kind of getting reset because of all this bullshit that happened in Mortal Kombat 11. I'm wondering if, when they reintroduce Shujinko, we could possibly get a game that stars him once again. Yes, we had a game that's kind of starred him. Part of Armageddon starred him in the Conquest mode. But I would like to see a game surrounding Shujinko again. Maybe something happens. Maybe something in this timeline is different. And maybe Shujinko doesn't come back as Shujinko. Maybe he comes back as a female and is Shujinka. Who knows? I'm down for either or. I just would like to possibly see this character return with his previous abilities and possibly be a Mortal Kombat RPG. And number 2, Fulgore from Killer Instinct. I actually brought up Fulgore in my top 10 video game characters that need their own video game. I think he was my number 10 pick. I know he wasn't in my top 5. I'm almost pretty sure. But I played some Killer Instinct recently on a computer. Played like a free version I found on the computer. I didn't download it. It was just something I looked up. I was just like, Killer Instinct, and I was like, ah, cool. It was like a arcade simulator thing. Anyway. Killer Instinct is another good fighting game, and just as outrageous as, say, Mortal Kombat. But Fulgore is one that I could definitely see his own potential, and what I'm thinking is possibly almost like a Skynet situation, where Fulgore, the Fulgore that we play in Killer Instinct, kind of becomes outdated, and so he ends up getting retired by Ultratech, and then Ultratech ends up making brand new Fulgore units, and ends up sending them out. Something happens to their AI that they ended up developing, and they pretty much get a Terminator on everyone. Because of this, they dispatched the original Fulgore unit to become a Fulgore Termination unit. Kind of like how the TX was like a Terminator. But Fulgore could possibly be that. He could be a unit that goes out and destroys the other Fulgore units. There could be a point in the story where he ends up getting swept up by people, specifically maybe Black Eagle's old tribe, and ends up being told, like, listen, Ultratech is behind this, we can't exactly prove it yet, but Ultratech is behind the Fulgore units going all chaotic. You can't work with Ultratech, work with us, and we'll prove it. And because he's an older, outdated unit, he has trouble keeping up with these newer units, so you're upgrading his gear, and you have a brand new, more modern day Fulgore unit. One that retains most of the classic look, but one that also is a bit upgraded. And I think it would be really cool because, like, upgrading his different parts, each part having different traits that you would want, but they also have a different aesthetic, so you could have Fulgore looking all kinds of different, and then maybe, as just like a kind of funny thing, maybe one, like, the legendary, like some of the more legendary parts possibly make him into a completely full metallic Black Eagle. Not Black Eagle, Chief Thunder. Yeah, Chief Thunder. I don't know why I said Black Eagle. Black Eagle is his brother, though. So it kind of makes sense. Moving on. And at number 1, in my top 10 video game characters that need their own video games, I talked about Scorpion. I want to return to the Mortal Kombat universe, but not talk about Scorpion. I want to talk about another member of the Shirai Ryu. I'm talking Takeda, who was introduced in Mortal Kombat X and is probably one of my favorite characters to play as in Mortal Kombat X. His chain whips that he has in his arms are freaking awesome. The martial arts capabilities and the possibility of this game that he would have a standalone game of him would be freaking awesome. It would combine the freaking gore and blood of Mortal Kombat and the freaking insanity of the fighting, and possibly introduce some stealth. I mean, the Shirai Ryu are naturally assassins, so we could have some stealth in the game. I feel like it would be a natural fit for the character. I would think of it almost like the stealth sections kind of being like a cross between Arkham Knight stealth sections and Spider-Man stealth sections, while the actual combat, because of his bladed chain whips, be very similar to possibly the old Ghost Rider beat-em-up game. I don't know exactly what the story would be, but we could have some kind of... Hi, Paolo. My cat wanted to make another appearance in the video. But I feel like Takeda would definitely be a good fit for his own standalone character. his own standalone video game. I don't know what the story would be. Possibly a origin story, and my cat almost knocked over my camera. That's twice he's ended up trying to mess up a video. First it was the Chrono and then Puzzle Driver review, and now this. But maybe an origin story, like how Takeda came into the Shiai Ryu, his training as he was growing up, contracts that he fulfilled for the Shiai Ryu. I feel like it would just work. So, guys, those are my top 5 fighting game characters I feel like should have their own video games. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you like this video, like, comment, and if it's your first video of mine watching, why not subscribe? I will be trying to upload a few more videos throughout the week. I have more of a perfect opportunity now than ever, so I will see all you guys in the next video. Power down!